Hello judges, I'm Stacy Craig, the one and only member of Team Wacie, here to walk you through a game I made for the Games to Generate Data Challenge. I made this game because I wanted to make an RPG that was not only fun and engaging, but would also make people think about their lifestyle choices and the ways they can change them. So here we have a scale map of the city of Boston. The player can navigate between neighborhoods with these taxis, but will also be able to travel on foot to better explore buildings and things like that. For those of you who are familiar with the city of Boston, you'll recognize landmarks like the Chinatown Gate or Boston Common. Those are there to guide you around. There are non-playable characters around town, and they all have something to say. So pay attention. It's usually a hint to a trivia question that's going to help you later on in battle. NPCs are all over the place, so all you need to do to get their hint is walk up to them. You can also enter into some of these buildings. Like this one. This man is going to be very kind to us and give us a piece of advice instead of throwing us out on our butts. So let me tell you a little about the data this game is built to generate. In a moment, as you'll see, battling relies on correctly answering healthcare questions. These are questions about healthcare topics in general, but some of them are also pertinent to the city of Boston, such as how many residents are obese or asthmatic. The player will also be asked to fill out surveys about their recent healthcare experiences. We'll get to those in a bit. So this battle's pretty self-explanatory. Since this is a cigarette monster, you can tell this is going to be a question about tobacco use. At the top, you see the two bars. Well, now you see one. They indicate how much life each party has. Monsters go down in one hit, assuming you answer the question correctly, but the player can take a few hits before he finds himself in the hospital. There are 7 different trivia categories: cancer, asthma, depression, heart health, obesity, tobacco use, and diabetes. As the player fights these monsters, his or her answers will be recorded and entered into a database. From this, we'll be able to see what healthcare issues Bostonians know a lot about and what they don't know very much about. This could lead us to better public healthcare campaigns to improve knowledge of these things around the city. You may have noticed in the first battle, the player gained 10 experience points for winning. In traditional RPGs, experience is necessary for leveling up and gaining better stats and abilities, but in this game, after you get enough experience, the game will end. Well, here we are. We're in the hospital. Everybody gives you advice, even this doctor. Alright, so on our way out, we're going to be asked to fill out a survey. These are questions the player's going to answer about their own most recent trip to a healthcare provider. They'll be asked to list who it was, why they went, and for what they were treated. This data will also be entered into a database, so we'll have a chance to see which healthcare providers are the most popular around town, why people go to get checked out, or whether they're going at all. Of course, this survey is entirely optional. So with this, after this battle, we've reached the end of the game and the end of this walkthrough video. The average playtime is about 15 minutes, so it shouldn't take you very long to get through it. I think this game is fun. I had a great time putting it together, so I hope you have a lot of fun trying it out. Thank you for your consideration. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the ending. Goodbye.